Hello everyone, my name is Rosin, and welcome back to Newtype Netplay, the series where I take a look at my match footage for Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme vs. Maxi Bustan, and chronicle my growth and personal development as a player. Today we are playing as the Xi Gundam, who is kind of, a little bit of the star of the Gundam franchise right now with the upcoming release of Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, which is a movie that's an adaptation of one of the novels written by Yoshiyuki Tomino. He, to make a long story ridiculous, he wrote a book called Beltorchica's Children back in the day, which was based off of a rejected script that he had submitted for Char's Counterattack when that was being made into a movie. So Beltorchica's Children is like a weird thing that's like, it's the novelization of a rejected film adaptation of a novel that was already written, which is very silly. And then after he wrote that, he wrote Hathaway's Flash, which was a sequel series that was technically outside of the main Gundam canon because it was a sequel to Beltorchica's Children, but it's now being brought into the main canon with the Hathaway movie adaptation, and I'm really curious to see what they end up doing with those movies. I watched the preview 15 minutes that they had put out in Japan, and, as soon as that got uploaded to the English side of the net, I watched that, and I really liked what I saw. You can see here, you can activate the Minovsky Flight Mode with this thing, and you'll twirl upwards, and it makes for a very fancy dodge. I always love to land that whenever someone goes into attack, and I just pop that real quick, and decide to, just kind of flip over whatever attacks come in my way. It doesn't work with everything, obviously, if something has too big of a hitbox, but, I always feel really fancy when I manage to pull that maneuver off. But as I was saying, I'm really excited for that upcoming Hathaway movie. Really curious to see what they do with the second and third ones as well. I wonder if they're going to name it like Hathaway 2 and Hathaway 3 or whatever, or if each one's going to be like a different name. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. The third movie ends up being called Hathaway's Flash proper, because the first one's just being called Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway. But yeah, the Xi Gundam. Let's talk about this big chungus of a mobile suit. I really just love chunky mobile suit designs in general, which you may have been able to kind of gauge based off of what other suits I've said I've appreciated so far throughout this series, and just me talking about Gundam in general throughout the years. I really love the Xi Gundam. I'm an even bigger fan of its redesign for the upcoming movie. They actually changed up the design and kind of fused elements from both the original novel illustrations as well as the Xi Gundam designs that existed in various games and stuff up to this point, and kind of recolored it a little bit. And I like the new design a lot more than this one, though this one I still definitely have a soft spot for, and I think it looks pretty cool on its own, but I think the newer redesign just looks a little more unique. I'm really curious to see, I think that the next time they do like a new Gundam versus game, we'll end up getting the Hathaway designs swapped out with the movie versions, which I remember I looked a little bit online, and I just kind of poked around Japanese social media using, Twitter's machine translation stuff, so, take it with a grain of salt. But I did see some Gundam versus players kind of, I guess, pondering it and going, oh man, I wonder if, it'd be kind of nice if they were able to do, like, oh, here's the Xi Gundam and Penelope original versions, and here's the theatrical versions, but I kind of doubt that they would do that. They haven't really done anything like that for any of the, for any of the other suits. They typically just kind of go with the newer or more popular version or whatever in the culture. So I feel like this is probably going to be the swan song. Well, actually not this, but Extreme vs. 2 will probably be the swan song for this iteration of the Hathaway mobile suits, so pour one out, but I'm excited to bring in the new Xi, and I guess new Penelope, but honestly, the theatrical Penelope is pretty in line with what's already in the Gundam vs. games. You can summon the Messer for a pretty nifty assist. I love the Messer a lot, too. I'm actually working on a little Gunpla Messer project right now that has been interesting, and I'm curious to see how that ends up turning out. You also have a huge fuck-off dual cannon Garobi that comes off of the chest that also fires a bunch of missiles along with it to sweep onto the sides. You also have funnel missiles, which are wonderful, which you basically summon and shoot out like funnels, but instead of firing, they kind of home in on the enemy and then just explode because, they're missiles. Your super is basically just a much better version of your Garobi that fires a bunch of these missiles. The missiles that come out during the Garobi are kind of nice and can sometimes tag enemies, but they're not really... And there we go, there's the flip Minovsky Flight Mode trick thing I pulled off again. I always feel great when I pull that off. It just, I love looking at it. But as I was saying, definitely the missiles that come out during the Garobi and the super are more of like a... I guess cover your ass sort of thing, but they're very easily dodged and they don't often seem to hit their mark. The actual beam is really the bread and butter damage that you're going to want to land with that. And even though I'm using Fighting Burst, you're going to see that I'm actually not going in for melee a lot. The Xi Gundam is very fast, so it's very easy in my opinion to play like more of a ranged game and just play keep away with people. And, you know, like you saw, dodge out of the way and then just use the Minovsky flight mode, which really greatly enhances your maneuverability to just get the fuck out of bad situations. It's pretty neat. Though the Xi does hit like a truck, too, if you do manage to get into melee, so maybe I should have focused on that a little more, but I got kind of carried away. I really, really enjoy playing this thing. I wish I was a little bit better at it, truth be told. Maybe this is another suit that I should try revisiting now that I have a little bit of a better ground as to how to play this game. As you can see here too, when you fire your main beam rifle shot, it's also supplemented with a couple missiles that home in, which makes this thing's main fire pretty scary, actually. It's pretty cool. All around, this suit has a very, very powerful toolkit and really is everything I want out of a 3K unit. It's just very fun to play. And man, that Garobi just fucking really, really good at cleaning out the house too. But everything about this suit just exudes power, honestly. I couldn't even begin to tell you what its weak points necessarily are, though I'm sure there are some disadvantages to playing the suit. I think definitely it's the recharge time and the ammo count, probably a little bit worse than other suits. It takes a little bit to recharge those funnel missiles and the Garobi and all that, but it's still not all that bad. I feel like if you just kind of play a little, not conservative necessarily, you don't have to be that, you don't have to be that anal about conserving your ammo or anything, but just cautious, I think. As long as you're not being excessively wasteful, I think you'll be fine. But yeah, I just love the look of this thing. I'll miss this design a little bit, but like I said, I still prefer the new one. You can see there, if your enemy is moving out of the way, that Garobi is doesn't have the greatest tracking in the world always, so that will leave you a sitting duck. Actually, that is one thing I'll say, is that the Garobi and the super both leave you a sitting duck, so you're gonna have to be mindful of the enemy's partner if you're trying to go in for a shot sometimes. The tracking on the super is much better than the regular Garobi, as you can see there. There you can see, look at the tracking on those missiles, though, when I'm just doing my main fire here. Like, that really, if the Sinanju wasn't so good at schmooving around, that's something that's nothing to shake a stick at. Those missiles will follow people. This is just a great suit at not only getting away, but also hunting people down. As Hathaway hunts down the Earth Federation politicians that have made him so mad, as Mufti Naviu Aaron, or however you're supposed to pronounce that. God, that movie looks so great. And even the character art, you can see they're using the old character art. The redesigns that they gave everyone for the movie, oh my god, they just look phenomenal. Just everyone's so sharp and good looking, and they really, really did a major glow up for all the character designs for the Hathaway movie too. I'm just so excited to finally watch that fucking thing. It looks beautiful, and it definitely seems like it has a sense of style and aesthetic to it that is pretty unique, but I think fits what that story's going for. Just a little bit more of an adult and kind of grim take on Gundam, even as far as other Universal Century stuff is concerned. Heavy Arms Custom, also a master of missiles. Kind of a funny match. And yeah, that is one thing too, is that since all of these missiles, like the funnel missiles and stuff that are being shot out here, both from the dedicated skill and also the main rifle shot. I believe because they are physical ballistic weapons, or not ballistic, but you know, they're physical weapons compared to the beam rifle stuff, they can get deleted pretty easily by other fire. So heavy arms is actually probably kind of a bad matchup against Cassie in some ways, because you can't just, you know, no thoughts head empty your way to a victory there. Every time you shoot out your missiles, you have to, you kind of run the risk of heavy arms just going like, yeah, I'm just gonna spin around and shoot everywhere, and all those missiles are gonna go bye-bye. But I feel like the additional mobility and the, you know, Garobi and all of your other tools kind of more than make up for it. It's always kind of awkward playing Keep Away with the 3,000 units in this game, because you do want to be taking that frontal roll, and ideally you are the suit that wants to die first. So playing Keep Away kind of feels counterintuitive to that sometimes, right? The solution I've found to that is, I think in a lot of cases what you want to do is you want to maintain that middle ground distance to play your Keep Away game and play your range game, and just annoy the fuck out of people until they chase you. And even if they do catch up to you, you know, hopefully you can do a good amount of damage before they can really go in on you here. And oh god, Alex is getting in on me. The armor, it's always the armor. Alex is always very good at making those plays and getting charged in. I'm getting Vulcaned, or not Vulcaned, but Gatling gunned. There you go. Yeah, this Alex is kicking my ass. There you go. There's some melee attacks for you. Finally managed to kick that thing's ass, but it definitely, even though I got the kill, I think it technically won that trade in many ways, because look at my health. That lowly 1,500 unit really did a number on me. And once again has the armor back. Gotta be careful. Tried to get the super off, but Alex said, nah, fuck you. And finally got the kill on me. I respect good Alex players in this game, man. I really do. They're few and far between, I find, but when you know one who really knows how to use the armor to its full advantage, Alex's can be scary to fight against at close range. But yeah, as I was saying, when you're playing Keep Away with 3,000 cost units, you kind of want to be playing that middle ground and annoying people into attacking you instead of going for your partner. You want to convince people that you're the bigger threat, but also not try to go in too hard so that you're risking, you know, putting in melee range when you don't want to be or something like that. Though, like I said, I feel like Cassie can handle itself fine at melee. I just kind of chose to play this way, you know. Some people, you know, I feel like there's in many cases, there's people who say, like, oh, well, you know, the thing with Maxi Bustan is, even though there's, like, a bajillion different suits, they all have relatively simplistic playstyles, or a type of playstyle you want to go for that's kind of static. But I kind of push back against that. I feel like a lot of these suits, especially if you consider, like, team composition and burst type and stuff like that, I think maybe not so much as other fighting games that give you a lot more options, but there's definitely multiple ways to play these suits. And I feel like the way I'm playing Cassie here is kind of a good example of that I didn't even really intend to show off, but I'm sure I could be taking a much more frontal and aggressive role, but I decided to just use that Minovsky flight mode and the missiles and range game just to its fullest capability, and I feel like I really had something good going here. God, yeah, I just really want to play the suit again. It's just such a fun time. And we're working on a perfect here. I can't remember. Do I get it? I feel like the super is going to be it. Oh, didn't even need to activate the super. Just a stray missile. And see, there you go. I think I just started doing that in this episode. Keep in mind, this is still... Yeah, perfect. Hell yeah. But as I was saying, you saw me using the comms there to say thank you at the end of the match. I think that this is around the point in me playing the beta where I realized, like, oh yeah, I should be saying, like, good games and thank you to people. I don't think I mapped good game until a little bit later on than I should have, unfortunately. But, you know, I got a little bit better about saying thank you after a good match or whatever, or after someone saved my skin and carried me. But that's enough Xi Gundam. After that perfect, I was like, you know what? Let's go back to old Barbados Lupus here. And just had a little bit of a fun time with Barbados too. Again, that was really bad of me, but there we go. I'm making it up to my partner by just pinning down the Ultron here. But yeah, I totally cut my partner out of a good thing they had going on there. Oh, look at those dodges. God damn, Rosin, you're... Wow. You know, I kind of joked about, like, oh yeah, this is me chronically my progress getting better, and you know, I'm still not great at this game or whatever, but, like, you can definitely see in matches like this, like, playing dozens upon dozens of hours really started to get to me, and I really started to pick up what the game was trying to put down, I feel, around this point. Like, I was definitely going for it. There we go. That was a good super. Unfortunately burst out. He's probably going to hit me with his super. Or maybe not. Well, who knows. But there we go. Going for the... Well, I was going for the pin again. I kind of kicked the Ultron into that Garobi there, unfortunately. But... Or not Garobi, but, you know, laser trap. And boom! Javelin toss for the game-winning kill there. Oh, man. That was a good, clean match. I'm really proud of that one, actually, looking back. Like, holy shit. I feel like I did a pretty solid job having... I just feel like I had really good control all around, both of my own suit and of the situations I was finding myself in. And I just was kind of shutting down their plays when they were trying to go for stuff. Maybe not the cleanest match in the world, but, you know, 2 kills, 0 deaths. That, I don't know, that's pretty clean, honestly. And I think my partner did a good job there, too, so... Got just a couple more matches here with Barbados Lupus, and then it'll be it for the episode. Yeah. Should have converted and tried going for a melee thing there. Red frames can be kind of scary to fight. Any of the red frames can be kind of scary to fight as a melee suit because they have a lot of tools to win out those situations. But I also had... You know, I used... there we go, I used both of them. I used both of my charge moves there that are once per life, because I saw opportune times for both of them, and they both landed and did some pretty solid damage for me, so that was good. That is one thing I suggest if you have Barbados Lupus, is use that melee charge move if you feel like you're about to lose a melee encounter, or if you really feel like you want to win a melee encounter, because I feel like it pretty much goes through a bunch of shit. And, okay, partner hit me with the glad you were there. Good times. Good job, partner. That was some good stuff there. That was also a pretty clean game. I didn't really take the lead there. I let my partner do the heavy lifting there, but you know what? That's okay. I did my part as a 2.5k partner to a 3k. Pretty happy with that one. But as I was saying, the charge melee move for the Barbados Lupus, like the kind of pile bunker forward, just goes through a lot of bullshit, and even though you can only use it once per life, it's a pretty good get-out-of-jail-free card in many melee situations I've found. God, I always forget how short the Xi Gundam units are, too, in this game. I guess it doesn't help that they're kind of doing the, you know, the martial arts stance, so they're kind of bending down low. I'm getting a lot better at using those maces, too, when I'm kind of gliding in at people from awkward angles, I find. Find the good old F91 here. Another favorite suit of mine. Really love the F91's design. So sleek. Am I going to go in for the kill? Ooh, Extend Burst. I don't know if I would have used Extend Burst there. I feel like... Well, you know what? Never mind. Fuck me, because, hey, F91 ended up getting my ass with that, so... I guess I'm not one to talk. But I was going to say is I almost would have considered saving that Extend Burst... if I was that F91, just to keep it for my second life. But, you know, I think that F91 saw an opportunity and took it, and I ended up not getting the last laugh. So, managed to grab the Gunner Zaku there because of the, G Zaku Warrior in midair there because it verniered. And F91's Extend Burst is all gone, which is all the information I need to know that, hey, this thing is vulnerable and I can go in for the kill here. Though, that is if I can get in close enough that Gunner Zaku is doing a good job of trying to kill me and win the game there, but the mace throw managed to clean up the game for me. That mace throw is just such a good move. Very powerful tool for the Barbados Lupus. And there we go. Good game all around, in my opinion. Yeah, this is a good episode. I really was happy with my play here. Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.